The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner.
That is absolutely insane. This is Donald Trump referring to Hannibal Lecter. If you don't know the reference, it's from a movie called Silence of the Lambs, and Hannibal Lecter is famously a cannibal in that movie. He had somebody over for dinner, and I don't know how to say this I'm just going to be really, just broad strokes. He ate part of the person that he had over. Let's listen to the whole clip here.
Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen a Silence of the Lambs?
By the way, he's talking about immigrants right now and the left.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner.
What a disturbing thing to say. People laughing at this?
Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner.
What a disturbing scene that was shocking and weird. Disturbing that he'd even say that or even bring it up. That's a scene in movie history that people like to forget. It didn't add to the plot. It wasn't valuable in any way. They could have communicated the point better in another way, but I digress.
But Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country.
So the point is ultimately that the left and immigrants are like Hannibal Lecter in that they're cannibals. Absolutely psychotic. As a matter of fact, this isn't the first time that Donald Trump has said anything like this. Check this next one out. I mean, I really went digging to find other examples of it. And by the way, QAnon is going nuts over this right now. QAnon is absolutely off the rails. We're going to talk about QAnon in a second, too. Woman named Liz Crokin, this woman here, and Mark Taylor, two QAnoners. You know, they'll have their part. But let's talk about this clip from Trump. This is an older one from Trump about Hannibal Lecter or whatever. Late February 2024. So not even that big of a gap between the two clips.
So we just call it migrant crime. We have a new category, migrant crime, and it's going to be more severe than violent crime and crime as we knew it, because we have millions and millions of people, and they came from prisons and jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. No, they're not the same thing. An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids, okay? It's Silence of the Lambs, okay? You know that. Hannibal Lecter. They're all being deposited into our country.
Deposited. Interesting. I guess he's implying with that statement that immigrants are intentionally being shipped here from insane asylums. It's just wrong. It's not true. It's inaccurate. And Donald Trump, in my opinion, knows that. The only reason he's saying this right now is for shock value, is to get like CNN and NBC and everything else to talk about it. That's what I think. Now, I don't really care that Donald Trump said this. What I care about is how QAnon is reacting to the claim that immigrants are cannibals. It's absolutely insane. For good measure, before we talk about the QAnon thing, though, let me just show you. So there's a claim that's age old. You know, it's very old, but it was consolidated into one place. You know, all of these conspiracies about cannibals, the elites, and all this other stuff. It was all kind of consolidated in an old book from 1905 or 1902 or somewhere in there called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. It was written in Tsarist Russia, and it was it plagiarized a French satire book that had nothing to do with it. Like 80% of it was plagiarism or something. And it outlines the Jews' plan for world domination and makes all kinds of wild claims about them eating babies and insane stuff. It consolidated all of the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories into one place. So, as I said, this is like a really old claim, an old accusation. It's called blood libel. You can look blood libel up on Wikipedia. The claim that Jews are eating babies or atheists are eating babies, like it's a meme at this point. You know, there are pictures of dudes with a baby in a, between a bun. Yeah, here we go. Atheism because babies are tasty. There you go. That's it. Anyway, the point is that it's an age-old claim against the other, particularly against Jews. Some other famous hits from Hitler that Donald Trump has repeated. I just want to go rapid fire here. There's this one from October 4th, 2023. It's Donald Trump saying that immigrants poison the blood of our country. Literally an exact word-for-word quote. Translation, of course, from German, from Hitler's lips to Donald Trump's.
You could go to a banana republic and pick the worst one, and you're not going to see what we're witnessing now. No control whatsoever. Nobody has any idea where these people are coming from. And we know they come from prisons. We know they come from mental institutions.
Just fabricated.
Insane asylums.
We don't know where they come from, but we know they're coming from insane asylums. How do you know that if you don't know where they're coming from? What?
Insane asylums. We know they're terrorists. Nobody has ever seen anything like we're witnessing right now. It is a very sad thing for our country. It's poisoning the blood of our country.
Boom. Quick interjection. This won't take long, I promise. I'd appreciate it if you watched to the end of the video, or at least a couple extra seconds, because YouTube bases its algorithm off of watch time. The more watch time a video has, the further the video will go. Also, take a look at my website, owenmorgan.com. I'm selling my book, Understanding Jehovah's Witnesses, 400 pages, and my second book, 100 Questions for Jehovah's Witnesses, which is about 80 pages. And you can find them both there on the website. Audio form, ebook form, whatever. It's about my experiences within the religion and the history of the religion generally. The 100 questions are intended to challenge a religious leader, so I'd appreciate it if you give it a read. Okay, back to the video. Hitler quote.
It's so bad, and people are coming in with disease. People are coming in with every possible thing that you can have.
I mean, not for nothing, but that whole they're coming in with disease thing was another justification for some of the atrocities that Hitler perpetrated in World War II, or like in Nazi Germany. He said there's what was it? Cholera? Was it a cholera epidemic that was going around in the area? I think it was cholera, or maybe typhoid. Anyway, there was an epidemic going around at the time, and Hitler told Jews that they had to live in these ghettos, and if they stepped outside of them, then they were going to be shot. And then, of course, he went into the ghettos and started doing horrific stuff. The point is that, like, this entire thing is, like, literally exactly right from Hitler's lips. Check this one out. Another example of literal Hitler quotes at Donald Trump's rallies.
In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin.
Vermin is the exact word used to describe Jews, largely, and other people, communists, political prisoners, religious minorities, and people like that. Vermin. What a bizarre thing to literally quote Hitler about. Anyway, the point is that Donald Trump is, in my opinion, doing this intentionally. The poisoning the blood of our country one was from October 4th, 2023. The vermin clip was from November 12th, 2023, so around the same time. And it's ramping up now. He's saying even more absolutely insane, heinous stuff. So let's talk about QAnon's reaction. If you don't know QAnon's beliefs in the first place, this is an older clip, but it should kind of draw out what QAnon thinks about, people eating babies or whatever. I mean, I'm dead serious. I showed a meme earlier because it's so ridiculous. They really believe this. Like, seriously. This one is from late May 2022. This is Mark Taylor on the left. He is a Trump prophet, quote unquote. He is the reason why some people believe that Trump is like a religious figure, because he's called the firefighter prophet, and he claims to have prophesied that Donald Trump would run for president and win 2 years before he actually ran and won. I mean, Donald Trump had been talking about running for president like long before 2014, and he started kind of sticking stories in the news and ramping it up around that time. So it doesn't surprise me that people really tuned into what Donald Trump was saying in the first place, or tuned into politics at all, would say something like this. But that's neither here nor there. Listen to what QAnon believes about eating babies. At this point in time, there was a formula shortage caused by something. I don't remember what. There was a batch that needed to be recalled, I think, or something. And we had to ship some in from like Europe. Check out what Mark Taylor says about the formula shortage.
When politicians go to Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, this is why they lose all wisdom. Columbia is another name for Baal, the District of Baal.
I have no idea what he's talking about or where that came from. That's just nonsense.
They are working for and under the protection of the District of Baal, whose food source is the aborted babies. Do you think it's a coincidence that they are creating a food shortage for us? Did they know ahead of time that we were going after Roe versus Wade? They are going after our food sources because we are going after theirs.
How absolutely gone must your brain be to believe this, to be here in your life, to say something like that? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Talk about insane asylums. Like, my God. Seriously, what a psychotic thing to say. Anyway, he goes on for a while, but the rest is irrelevant. This is Liz Crokin. I really wanted to get to Liz Crokin. She's a prominent QAnoner. And the reason that I bring up Liz Crokin in the first place is because she had a tweet go absolutely viral about this situation with Donald Trump talking about Hannibal Lecter and everything. Just let me give you a little introduction to Liz Crokin. This clip is from mid-August 2022. Give this a listen.
The White Hats tainted the elite's adrenochrome supply with the coronavirus, and that's why so many members of the elites are getting the coronavirus, if indeed they do have the coronavirus.
I'm surprised that she's even acknowledging that COVID is real, seemingly. The White Hats tainted the elites' adrenochrome supply? Like what? Adrenochrome is not real. Okay, it's a fake drug from a movie that was made up for that movie. The point of the movie was this guy does a lot of drugs, like a lot. He did every drug that you can imagine, and they even fabricated some. And he had a little Z carved in his forehead, Johnny Depp, in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Fascinating movie. Anyway, it's a made-up thing. It's fabricated. But these people believe that they're like, scaring kids to get their adrenaline pumping and doing like really horrific stuff to scare them. And then drinking their blood because, adrenochrome is in their blood once that's a metabolized version of adrenaline. In their mind, it's a really, really good high. In reality, adrenochrome doesn't do anything. It's easily accessible. Scientists can order it. All you have to do is take blood from somebody and filter out the adrenochrome. If you eat it or if you drink it or whatever, it just gives you a mild headache. That's it. It's like claiming that the elites are mixing cannabis ash in their drinks and sipping on it. Why would you drink the ash? It's spent. It's not usable. And if you really want an adrenaline high, there's a way to do that. Jump out of an airplane. Quick interjection. This won't take long, I promise. I just want to say I'd appreciate it if you check my Patreon. OwenMorgan.com/Patreon to find it. YouTube's algorithm goes up and down, so I can never predict where it's going to be. Having patrons gives me some level of stability. Okay, back to the video. This whole adrenochrome claim is the source of QAnon's claim that there are, I don't know how to say it, that there are pedophiles running around, running the country and controlling everything. So yeah, this whole thing is absolutely insane. And adrenochrome, the conspiracy theory around it does not hold water at all. At all. Like I said, it's not even hard to get, but just keep listening here.
So adrenochrome is a drug that the elites love. It comes from children. The drug is extracted from the pituitary gland.
No. It would be the adrenal gland. But it's not real, so it's no glands at all. She doesn't even get her fake lore correct.
Of tortured children. It's sold on the black market.
No.
It's the drug of the elites.
No.
It's their favorite drug.
No.
It is beyond evil. It's demonic. It is so sick. So there is a theory that the White Hats tainted their adrenochrome supply with the coronavirus.
Why would... I don't understand. There are so many questions to this. If the White Hats, quote unquote, the good guys in the military, that are secretly working for QAnon are capable of tainting adrenochrome supplies. Why wouldn't they taint it with, like, instead of COVID, taint it with like arsenic or oh my God, what's the other stuff? Cyanide. Why don't they taint it with that? I don't understand. What is going through her head? She's not the only one by any stretch of the imagination. This is massive in the QAnon sphere. Massive. Let me show you what I mean. She had a tweet go absolutely viral the other day. Okay, here's the tweet and subsequent websites she linked to, which I can only show to a limited degree because of how absolutely psychotic they are. President Trump called Hannibal Lecter a wonderful man at his rally. Oh, by the way, the tweet has 1 million views, 6.2 thousand likes. I've had a tweet that big before. I actually have a tweet with, like, I don't know, 10,000 likes and maybe 4,000 like retweets, I think. I don't remember. It was about the Patriot Front group, the extremist group that's organized. But my tweet that had like 10,000 likes on it had 5 million views. So 1 million views is in the ballpark. That's plausible. I can see that. Anyway, that's why we have to talk about this. 1 million people. Really. President Trump called Hannibal Lecter a wonderful man at his rally. Normie liberals and the media are melting down on social media with outrage and faux outrage that he'd praise a cannibal. Here's what Trump said. Quote, Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner, and this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner. End quote. Do you see what Trump did? He's getting his enemies to condemn cannibalism. Screenshot their tweet. Laughy emoji. Gotta fit that in there. Laughy emoji. Screenshot their tweets. They will come in handy one day when it's revealed some of their false idols are actual cannibals. Did you think spirit cooking was just pretend? Spirit cooking is another conspiracy theory. Just absolute nonsensical garbage. And it basically links back to Hillary Clinton's emails and Pizzagate and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's all garbage, all of it, all the way down. We'll talk about spirit cooking a little bit more, but just all you really need to know about it if you're unfamiliar is that it was an artistic project that somebody was working on that knew Anthony Podesta, Hillary's campaign manager, and one of his emails leaked. In fact, I think all of Anthony Podesta's emails leaked. Somebody got into his email through spear phishing attack and released all of his emails. And QAnon, well, the predecessor to QAnon, because it didn't exist yet as like a group. This was like in 2015, 2016 when this happened. QAnon, or the predecessor, went through it and found like all these secret code words and phrases and stuff that they believed pointed to like child abuse and drinking adrenochrome and all this crazy stuff. Is insane. Like I said, art project. And they twisted spirit cooking around as an art project to be like literal cannibalism. Like I said, I can only show little pieces here. Wait, there's a tweet from a QAnon account that she retweeted. Q said, we are in full control. It's bigger than you can imagine. Here's a 3-part example of how big. 1, last month, fake Biden, quote unquote, tells a laughable story of how his uncle was eaten by, quote unquote. What the hell are you talking about? 2, yesterday we had a storm cannibal. I'm sorry, we did? Oh, okay. So there's a solar storm that caused northern lights, the aurora borealis to like flash all over the place. It was really, really big, a magnetic phenomenon, basically. And I think maybe the biggest in like 100 years or something. Of course, we have a blanket over us, the ozone layer and the magnetic field and all that stuff. So we're protected from the sun largely. But largely, you have to still wear sunscreen and stuff. But I guess they said it's a cannibal of a storm. Okay. You're finding codes and little things all over the place that don't connect to each other. And you're like drawing dots from thing to thing that it's making, you found a picture, you have a picture in your head, and you're creating that picture by placing dots down and drawing the picture out. Insane. Absolutely insane. You know what? I'm not really a fan of the blue. I'm going to switch my color. Yesterday, we had a storm cannibal. I guess it was a solar storm. And 3. Today, Donald John Trump tells a story about Hannibal the cannibal Lecter. Yes, we control Biden. Yes, we control storms. Yes, Donald Trump was trolling on 1 and 2 today. I don't know what the hell. So I guess they're saying that he's trolling because he said he likes Hannibal. Way to twist this around to your advantage? It seems like this would be a hit to QAnon's beliefs. Donald Trump said he likes somebody like Hannibal Lecter. I'm trying not to say the word too many times in this stream. He likes somebody who's like that. And they're twisting it around to say he was trolling people and that he's trying to get people to denounce the practice so that it can be used against them later. Like, what? As if politicians don't lie constantly. I could give me a politician, any politician, and I can dig up 50 lies that they've said at some point. Most of them, not all of them. I guess Bernie Sanders probably hasn't lied very much. But anyway, the point is that it's not hard to catch these people in lies, and I don't know what he's talking about here. But if you noticed, just to step back to Liz Crokin's post, she had screenshots of stuff. So I looked this up because I wanted to know what this is all about. I wanted to see what she was screenshotting. One of them is the quote-unquote Human Farming Project on Facebook. It's a Facebook page. So I went there. You know, she's saying that there's a Facebook page where people are talking about because they're big fans, you know? They love to do it. I'll probably have to mute that word out a whole bunch. So I went there. I looked it up. This is the only Facebook page that comes even close to matching anything approximating what she put down. And it's simply called Human Farming. Not Human Farming Project, just Human Farming. So I go there and I start scrolling down. I'm not going to scroll down too far, but I just want you to see the first post on here. Vaccine checkpoint, mandatory vaccine checkpoint. This is a piece of propaganda that the right used to fearmonger and scare the bejesus out of everybody from here to Texas. That there are going to be vaccine checkpoints and you're going to be arrested if you don't have a vaccine and all this other junk. Never happened, by the way. Did they apologize for that? Of course they didn't. Anyway, it's a right-wing group. That's the point. She presented it as evidence that the elites and the people on the left generally are... Again, I'm going to have to mute that word so many times. She's implying that they're... But when we go there, we see that it's a right-wing group that is presumably outraged by the practice. Again, it's not even done by anybody. I mean, some psychos, Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff, when we find examples of this, we arrest them and give them the death sentence. And what about the other thing that she posted? It was a screenshot of this website right here, cannibalclub.org. So I go here and I start looking through, and the first thing I notice is that there's a home, cuisine, events, staff, FAQ, and contact options in the menu, right? First of all, it looks like it's a website from the 1990s or the 2000s. Bare bones HTML, almost guaranteed. Yeah, there is nothing more complex here than just HTML. Somebody probably spent an hour designing this. So you just let's take a look at what it says here. Let's zoom in on this puppy. Quote, whenever a taboo is broken, something good happens, something vitalizing, end quote. Henry Miller. Okay, I don't know who Henry Miller is. And, I guess that's a double-edged quote, you know. I guess I could agree with it to some degree. But some things are taboo for a good reason, like this. Anyway, specializing in the preparation of... This is a really hard subject to go through and stay monetized, so I'm going to do my best. I'm going to mute hard words that are hard to say. Specializing in the preparation of this kind of meat, Cannibal Club brings the cutting edge of experimental cuisine to the refined palates of LA's cultural elite. Do you really think that this was written by somebody on the left, created in an hour, bare bones HTML, and on top of that, out of curiosity, I wanted to see who owned the website. So I did a whois search. And wouldn't you know it, redacted for privacy, all the way down. The city, the administration, phone number, and the tech phone number and email address, everything. It's all redacted for privacy. Interesting. It was it's hosted by DreamHost, or not hosted, but registrar. You know, they bought the domain name from DreamHost. And it was registered in 2024. April 4th, 2024 is when it was registered. So anyway, the point that I'm getting to here is that I just don't believe that this is from like a real group of people. And if it is, go arrest them. Find out who it is and arrest them. The FBI, I don't know, NSA or whoever does this, have the ability to just go in and find who owns this stuff. You know, subpoena DreamHost, get their IP address and find them, track them down through their ISP, and arrest them. But Liz Crokin believes that the FBI or the police or whoever are in on it, that they're taking part. This is obviously created by a right-winger to lend credence to the absolutely insane, unglued from reality claims. Our master chefs hail from around the world for the opportunity to practice their craft free of compromise and unbounded by convention. What? Who even talks like this? Who refers to anybody as cultural elites? Who says that? One group that I can think of refers to anybody as cultural elite. LA's cultural elites. Constantly. Our exclusive clientele includes noted filmmakers. Oh, you're going to tell us then? Noted filmmakers, intellectuals, and celebrities who've embraced the Enlightenment ideals of free expression and rationalism. Really. Free expression and rationalism are the values that got you here. This is written by a right-wing nutcase. It's sealed for me. I don't see how anybody could see it any differently than that. That's insane. Nobody talks like this. Nobody's in favor of this. The elite, quote-unquote, are not eating people like Jeffrey Dahmer. And Enlightenment ideals of free expression and rationalism, you know, the ideals espoused by Thomas Jefferson, one of the leaders of the Enlightenment and rationalism, those ideals do not help you arrive at this. On event nights, avant-garde performance artists, celebrated literary figures, and groundbreaking musicians entertain our guests. At Club, we celebrate artistic excellence as the natural and inevitable expression of the unbridled human spirit. This is so obviously fake. You can hit like cuisine and events, and as you go through, you'll find there's no way, like you can't book, there's no nothing here. It's not a real website. It's fake. Everything that you see here is all propaganda. These people are like Elspeth Blake, Sophie Lafitte or something. All of these people are either not real people, which wouldn't surprise me. These look like fake headshots. I should try to do like a reverse image search on these. Either not real people or they are political opponents or perceived political opponents of QAnon in general. You know what? Out of curiosity, I'm going to look these up. I'm going to do a reverse image search. And by the way, it is an HTML website. There is no higher level of code. There's no like back end, no nothing. You can click on contact. This is the only place you can go that will get you anything, that will get you anywhere or get you in contact with anybody. We have no email address. They disabled the email address option in the Who Is search. So it says this form is not secure. Autofill has been turned off. Wow. Fascinating. Okay, let's do it, shall we? Owen Morgan. Organization, Owen Morgan. General question / comment, media inquiry, membership inquiry, moral outrage. Moral outrage is an option on their list here, or other. Let's do moral outrage. Hello. HULLO, period. Now, I'm doing this because I want to see if it redirects me to a PHP website. Actually, I can probably just check that. See if we can find the submit button. Yes, right here. Here we go. The input button does not go anywhere. You click it and it goes nowhere. Yeah, this is fake. It's just a fake website. Wait, it has CSS and no JavaScript. If you're unfamiliar with like how this works. Oh no, it does have JavaScript. What's this? It's got JavaScript to load images, I guess. Okay, super bare bones, basic JavaScript. Again, this stuff could be copy and pasted and designed in less than an hour. Oh, look at this. Look, it was copy and pasted from w3.org. Oh my God. They copy and pasted it. Anyway, the point is that like it's fake. Let's see what happens when I click it. The information you're about to submit is not secure. Because this form is being submitted using a connection that's not secure, your information will be visible to others. Oh, no, it's just a mail to option. They just put a mail to, like they're just emailing it. It's going through email, I guess. That's weird. I didn't see that in the code. Is that right? No, I'm clicking send anyway, and it's not working. It's not doing anything. Look, the JavaScript is commented out. I didn't even notice that. info3@cannibalclub.org appears to be the email address. Anyway, the point is, it's fake. It's all fake. All of this garbage that she posted is nonsense. She has to know that, right? She has to know that this whole thing is fabricated. Sadly, she's spoken at Mar-a-Lago. This is Liz Crokin speaking there about Pizzagate at a Mar-a-Lago event. All right, let me just give a little bit of, just a quick intro to Pizzagate if you guys are unfamiliar. Anthony Podesta was attacked through a spear phishing hack. They got into his emails and downloaded a whole bunch of them, and then there was a WikiLeaks thing that released all of them. It turns out Russia was the one that did all of the hacking. This is Russiagate. This is real. 100% completely and totally real. They hacked Anthony Podesta's emails and Hillary Clinton's and released like 30,000 emails or something. There was nothing there. It was innocuous, normal, boring conversation, but QAnon, or the predecessor to it, found things to turn into, crazy stuff. Like the word cheese pizza, the term cheese pizza, refers to CP, because, CP, cheese pizza, if you will. It's just all nonsense, all of it. Listen to her talk about Pizzagate here.
Some of the top people working at Balenciaga.
That's another ridiculous rabbit hole we don't need to go down. But these people believe Balenciaga is like taking advantage of kids or something.
We're also openly promoting cannibalism, satanic ritualistic abuse.
Who? She says the same people who like run Balenciaga or whatever? Who? Give me names. I want to look at these people. Let me just do like a reverse search on these images. I want to see if this is real or what. I mean, if these are real people. Search by image. Wait, is it Chelsea Clinton? It's a Chelsea Clinton lookalike, at least. Hillary Clinton's daughter. That's the search that comes up. Apparently, there's like a WordPress website. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just one more website that pretends to be for Cannibal Club, the People's Advocacy for a Refined Appetite. This person doesn't exist anywhere on the internet, literally anywhere, except for two places. There and the website that we just looked at. And she looks so similar to Chelsea Clinton that Google image search thought that's who I put into the search. Okay, this website looks a little bit more modern, but it's done through WordPress, so of course it would. Yeah, this is all just fabricated garbage, all of it. Works cited. What did they cite? Where are they citing works? They have a works cited page. What are they citing? Okay, well, just looking here, they cited How Stuff Works, How Cannibalism Works, and Cornell Law School, Cannibalism, Legal Information Institute, Amazing Facts, Cannibalism, Interesting Facts for Kids. Okay, I don't know what they're going on. Oh, this is just like a Blogspot website. Probably created by whoever created this whole, indexed set of websites, this spider web of websites that we've gone through here. Okay, so we did an image search on the first person, right? And the image search took us to just one more website that was just like the other. Let's try the other person. Who is this guy? He's just like a model, a male model, seemingly. Or maybe it's just detecting the glasses. I have no idea. Yeah, he's just like a male model. That's it. He's, used as an example of glasses on Etsy and, well, mostly Etsy, I guess. Vintage, Oakley, Jordan E. Wire, ASOS, eBay, and Cannibal Club. That's the only other place where we just looked. Anyone want to guess where the other pictures go? You guys think the other pictures go anywhere? Of course they don't. This is all fabricated. These people are not real. There's one exact match, or three exact matches. Blogger.com, WordPress.com, and CannibalClub.com. The only three places, the only web presence that these people have, the only web footprint, the internet footprint that these people have is 3 places total. And they don't update that. They're not on Twitter. They're not on anything. This is so transparently fake, right? How do people buy this? Does Liz Crokin really believe this? I think she does. Even though she's lying, it appears, seemingly knowingly stating false information. That's what it looks like to me. Even though she's doing that, I think she's a true believer still. Because I think she justifies it by saying it's for the right reasons. I'm lying to them, yes, but the ends justify the means. What I'm trying to reach for is a justification for literally anything. I can do anything to get there. Ends justify the means.
Blood rituals, child abuse. I mean, some of the worst stuff you've ever seen.
They're just complete nonsense. The point is, she gave a speech at Mar-a-Lago about Pizzagate. Even worse, Elon Musk tweeted about Pizzagate. I think it was Pizzagate. I don't remember now. He tweeted about it. He said, hey, this is interesting. And Liz Crokin, that breathed life into her conspiracy theory when Elon Musk did that. Because he is one of the elites, but he's one of the good elites. This is from late November 2023.
You have Elon Musk putting a laser pointer on Pizzagate. Do you think that Elon Musk would be putting a laser pointer on Pizzagate if it was just a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I do. Because he wants to ingratiate himself to the right. Because he wants to bring in the QAnon viewers and the QAnon audience, the far-right audience. Really? You don't see why Elon Musk would do that?
If it was a hoax, if it was fake, no. He would not be putting a laser pointer on Pizzagate if Pizzagate wasn't real.
I mean, Pizzagate was debunked so long ago. I mean, the whole premise behind Pizzagate is that I think it was Comet Ping Pong and Pizza Parlor or something is what it's called. Comet Ping Pong. It's a place where, politicians go to have pizza sometimes. And that was listed as one of the places that Anthony Podesta gets his pizza in the emails. So QAnon is convinced that there's a trafficking ring linked into Comet Ping Pong. They were so convinced of it that they said that there's a basement in there where they're trafficking kids, and they even got pictures of the kids. It happened to be pictures of the staff members working there and the staff members' children, disturbingly. It got so big and insane that a guy actually showed up with a gun, like an AR-15 or something. I'm not sure what it was now that he had, which gun. He showed up there to save the kids, quote unquote. There's no basement in that building. They claimed there's a basement where they do all their bad stuff. There is no basement. The guy's arrested. I don't think anybody got hurt in that. He just wanted to save the kids, I guess. These people are unglued from reality, or they're lying. The thought leaders are either lying or completely delusional.
Since Elon Musk put a huge spotlight on Pizzagate, we finally have some really big accounts, some that have over 1 million followers, talking about Pizzagate, acknowledging Pizzagate's real, stating that Pizzagate not only is real, it always was real, and it's still ongoing. This is a huge turning point because in over 7 years, I don't think I've ever seen an account with millions of followers talk about Pizzagate, and it's slowly starting to happen. The tide is finally turned.
Again, completely 100% fake. Debunked a long time ago. But doesn't matter to her. She's going to spread the nonsense anyway and completely ignore the debunks. Just so you guys have an idea of what Comet Ping Pong looks like. This is Stu Peters wandering around Comet Ping Pong and talking about how disgusting and evil it is and everything. Stu Peters is a Nazi, by the way. I don't mean that in I don't like him and he has views that are questionable thing. No, he's a literal Nazi, actual Nazi. Talks about the Jews and everything all the time. His intro to his show, 500,000 subbies, by the way, on Rumble, and a podcast. It's gigantic. His intro on Rumble has pictures of anti-Semitic caricatures. I mean, stuff that has existed for like decades that's really, really awful. He hates Jewish people, seriously. It's bizarre. But just like watch him wander around Comet Ping Pong here. God, if I saw him outside, I would be so freaked out.
Whatever happened to Pizzagate?
Absolutely. It was debunked. Comet Ping Pong, their giant sign here. This are closed.
This is just sick. I feel it. You guys know about the pictures from inside of this place?
The pictures of the staff's children? Yeah, I am aware of those pictures. I mean, they weren't like weird pictures. They're just like pictures of kids. That's it. Like kids going to school and wandering around and stuff. And of course, some really disturbing shit spread throughout the QAnon sphere. I say predecessor to QAnon because QAnon wouldn't come for another year or so. This happened in 2016, I think. Pizzagate conspiracy started then. And QAnon came around about 2017. And Anon is a person on 4chan because they're completely anonymous on 4chan. It's like Reddit, except, there are no like accounts. There's no tracking of anything, no nothing. 100% as anonymous as you can get, basically. I mean, nothing's 100% anonymous, of course. Like, the FBI can usually track down just about anything, but it's as anonymous as you get, 4chan is. So anyway, they're absolutely psychotic on there because people can be the most evil and disgusting that they want to be. So naturally, most people, the vast majority, aren't evil and disgusting, but the evil and disgusting among us gravitate to areas on the internet where they can say all of the evil and disgusting stuff that they say. So 4chan has a whole bunch of boards. It's similar to Reddit, where it's like Reddit/r/xjw, for example, or whatever. It's that kind of setup, that style. And there was a guy on there that named himself Q Clearance Patriot, and he posted something claiming that he was a high up member of the military, a white hat in the military, and he was working against the deep state, and Hillary Clinton was about to be arrested. This is his first post ever. Hillary Clinton's about to be arrested. Just stop a National Guard person and ask him what his mission is or whatever, and that'll prove it. That's what he said. And other people tried this. Other people did this exact kind of thing. In fact, the same guy probably did it. By the way, the guy that started this, I believe, is a guy named Paul Ferber. Is this guy right here. If you've never heard of him before. He's in like some documentaries, some QAnon documentaries. Is just like a guy that's very opposed to the modern QAnon. He started it with help from Tracy Beans Diaz and a couple of other people. Anyway, he claimed that he had high up intel from the military. Hillary Clinton's about to be arrested. Never happened. But he continued posting stuff like that. And the mods on 4chan stickied it to the top so that everybody coming in saw it. And they all thought it was 100% real because, hey, it's stickied by the mods. It must be real, right? And it just exploded out from there. And they started saying some absolutely psychotic stuff, obviously, that kind of formed out QAnon. The poster never actually said some of the things that the adherents believe, but it was encouraged heavily by the leader, and it's a ubiquitous belief system largely within QAnon. Anyway, eventually Paul Ferber was convinced to go to 8chan, which was created by somebody. I forget what his name is now, but it was hosted by Ron and Jim Watkins, father and son duo. And once it moved over to 8chan, Ron Watkins, the guy that runs the servers and maintains everything, in my opinion, took it over from there, forced Paul Ferber out of the equation, and started posting as QAnon himself. His dad, Jim, absolutely obsessed with like old TV shows, Archie Bunker and Matlock and stuff. Would you believe that QAnon's password was actually hacked one time? It was Matlock. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, is a lot of circumstantial evidence that points to Ron and Jim Watkins running it together. it's very obvious that it changed hands at one point because the writing style is completely different. Started using like a ton of exclamation marks and saying the deep state constantly, the deep state this and that. It changed from a faux military academic professional style to an unhinged, outraged right-wing nutcase rant, like one of Trump's rants, you know. Anyway, that's what happened to QAnon afterward. And, you know, that's Stu Peters. Like, he believes in Pizzagate and is a QAnoner and is now wandering around Comet Ping Pong. My God, dude. By the way, this happened early June 2022.
The weird connections associated with Comet Ping Pong.
Weird connections?
People say that this is where Pizzagate originated.
People say? No, that's, you know, the target of Pizzagate. That's very obviously the origin, right? I mean, it was QAnon nutcases that started it, but what does he mean by that?
Just asking questions.
Just asking questions.
Look at this. It's all barricaded off. Backdoor only.
I like to call this JAQing off. I have to spell it for obvious reasons. Just asking questions. JAQ. He's complaining there are barricades here. Why do you think there are barricades there, Stu?
When people talk about secret societies and really deep, dark, demonic secrets and a satanic grip, like this is...
500,000 subbies, okay, in a gigantic podcast. This is not a nobody. You know, what's even more relevant and important is that he is a thought leader and one of the few large thought leaders in the QAnon sphere. There are not very many, not anywhere near as many people who agree with my views and come to me to listen to my thoughts. I mean, I have 400,000 subbies, so I'm roughly Stu's size, but there are way fewer QAnoners, and he's a gigantic thought leader proportionally. So everything that he says, all the ideas he espouses, all the propagandistic framing that comes out of QAnon, it's all from him, basically. And nearly all of it, not all of it.
Like, this is... Or have we just been paying attention?
No, you're not paying attention. Completely out of your head. Jesus, dude. So yeah, that is psychotic. Anyway, tell me what you think about this in the comments. Somehow QAnon spun what Trump said to work in their favor. Trump said he likes Hannibal Lecter. Great guy. He's a fan.
Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen a Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner.
That's a lot. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. That is absolutely bizarre.